All right, thanks, Roselle. While the Department of Corrections was forced to release their only physician, Dr. Raja Saad, from practicing at the prison compound, the new arrangement they have now with the Guam Memorial Hospital seems to be working out for the better. That's according to Deputy Director Carla Borja, and because of this, DOC is hoping to make this partnership permanent.
It was rather abrupt, but their hands were tied, says Department of Corrections Deputy Director Carla Borja, about how they were forced to release their medical director and only physician, Dr. Raja Saad. The revelation about Dr. Saad's medical license came after an expert consultant was hired to assist the Attorney General's office in helping DOC come into compliance with a decades-long stipulated order. Borja explains.
The whole time Dr. Saad has had a contract with Department of Corrections, his license has been restricted to the facility. Right. And it wasn't until Dr. Wu had come in as the expert consultant for the AG's office did he advise us that we will not be in full compliance as long as we have a doctor that is unrestricted. A doctor that is restricted.
To solve the problem, Borja says DOC and the Guam Memorial Hospital signed an MOU to allow the hospital to provide medical services to the prison population. It's been about 3 weeks since, and Borja says it's working out for the better. With the new arrangement, DOC has turned its infirmary into a clinic that now has doctors and multiple nurses on a rotational basis, more available to prisoners.
But we have 24-hour coverage, so even after, let's say, your 5 p.m. Even after your 5 p.m. hour, even after the doctors are done with clinical practice and appointments, our officers, if there's any medical issues during the evening, have the ability to call GMH and to call the doctors on standby.
In fact, she says DOC has been able to provide full physicals, something they've been unable to accomplish in the past.
And that hasn't been done before.
Okay, so physicals are now being covered.
Yes.
Whereas before.
Yes, and that's part of the standard.
The AG's office is so pleased with this arrangement that they plan on making it a permanent deal.
So right now we are still in transition of trying to, figure out budgeting and staffing and whatever other needs need to be met in order to make that transition happen.
Once DOC is able to determine how much funding they will need to provide these services for the long term, they will present that to the legislature in their next budget hearing. Borja emphasizes that DOC is working on providing all necessary services to include medical, behavioral health, and dental.